Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back with another video. So this one is sort of part of my rounding off the year videos, and this is going to be my most favourite or most used decks of 2024. Last year I actually did a tag, didn't I? I think it was my most used and my most neglected decks of 2023, and that did rather well. Quite a few people had a go at that, and I really enjoyed that whole experience. But I've decided this year I'm not going to do this as a tag or join anybody else's tag. I'm just going to name this, I don't know, it'll be either my most used or my favourite decks of 2024 because I think they're both the same thing really. And I didn't have enough decks to do a separate oracle and tarot video, so I've got 4 oracle decks and I think 10 tarot decks, and they're all decks that I've used this year and really enjoyed for one reason or another. So without further ado, I think I'll start with the oracle cards first, as I've only got 4 of those. And like I said, these are all decks that I've used, not necessarily decks that I've bought this year, because I think, well, a few of them, no, some of them, yes. In fact, quite a few of them I've bought this year, but they're not all copyrighted to this year. I think this one is 2023, copyright Catherine Riles, but I did buy this deck this year. This is the Phases and Forests Oracle deck, and it's inspired by the plants and nature of the Blue Ridge Mountains. This is such a gorgeous deck. I absolutely love this. It's a brilliant deck for this time of year as well, actually. I could have easily had this in my winter decks, couldn't I? Look at the beautiful backs and this gorgeous edging. They were done like this. What I really like about these cards is, so I think my tablecloth is going to annoy me. It keeps rucking up. What I really like about these cards is that they each have questions on them. And so you can pull one of these cards and reflect upon it during the day. You can use it as the starting point for a tarot card reading. You can use it as the last card in a tarot card reading, just to look back on your cards and reflect and try and tie it all together. So we've got like childlike wonder. What keeps you curious and awake with childlike wonder? Hello, George. Hello, darling. Come on. Centered. When do you feel most centered and most like yourself? Bringing hope, the winter solstice. How can you cultivate hope when you feel hopeless? Wow. I think actually, as I've just seen that, I'm going to take that out because I'm going to put that on my altar. The winter solstice. So bound and boundaries, beginnings, let go, last quarter moon, communication. Where do you feel like you have room for improving communication? Surfacing. What helps bring you out of deep waters? What is your guiding light? Seek and find. Do you feel more in a state of seeking, or do you feel you have found what you are looking for? Shelter. Where do you find shelter, security and protection? Stories of your bones. What are some of the stories and experiences deep within your bones that have helped shape you? Tree of Arms. What are you desiring more connection and reach in life? Trust. Where do you need to build trust in yourself and others? So you can see we've got vulnerability, observe, rooted, abundance, new ideas, waxing crescent, tend the garden, waning gibbous, navigating, rest, waning crescent, overcome, meander. That's a nice word, isn't it? I do hope that by this time next year I'll be able to meander through my garden. that it will have a lovely summer house and plants and a path. And it says, have you allowed yourself to meander and wander recently, or are you sticking to the known path? I want to meander in my garden. So there we go. You can see these are just beautiful cards, aren't they? By Catherine Rylis. It's an indie deck. I can't for the life of me remember where I bought it. It might well have been Etsy. It might well have been from Catherine's website. I really don't know. I do apologise. So that's Phases and Forests Oracle deck, which is beautiful. Then we have this deck, which I almost really didn't need to show you this, really. I don't have the box anymore. I've not had that for many years. But it's the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And I must have had this deck for 25 years, and it is such a firm favourite. I use it a lot. It's not necessarily winter or summer that I will use this deck. I just absolutely love it. Some of the cards in this deck I'm very drawn to. I actually had an online shop many years ago, and I called myself Nematona. She's the goddess of sacred spaces, isn't she? So I feel very attached to Nematona. Aren't these just beautiful? Look at those, look. Compassion, inner goddess, and peace. The guidebook is just gorgeous. I love everything about this deck. If ever you want to pull a card just to give you some inspiration, or to help ground you, or to help you to reflect on something that's going on in your life, this is just fantastic. I love Doreen Virtue's decks, to be honest. I've got a few. So there we go. That is the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Copyright 2002, 2004. So I have had this deck since then, because I remember buying it new. So it's just over 20 years old, isn't it? The next decks, and I'm going to show you the two of them, are these two. And I did show these in my Oracle decks video number 5 just recently, but I can't not include them here because they've been such a big part of my practice this year. I've had these cards on my altar a lot, and again, this is a fantastic deck. This is by Alison Williams Yee, and I bought these from her website, I remember, maybe 18 months ago. And I bought the Ascension deck, the other deck, with it as well, because I think it was a slight second, but I couldn't find anything wrong with it. The little guidebook that you get with this deck doesn't have a lot of information in it, but I don't really use this deck for the guidebook. I just love looking at the images and what the colours bring up in me, how the colours make me feel of these trees. You know, we just look at this card Clarity here, and with the black background and this sort of greeny, luminescent sort of tree in front of it. That tree stands out with clarity, doesn't it? We can see that there. some of the cards not quite as easy to intuitively sort of get, but most of them are, I think. Aren't they beautiful? All just quite simple drawings, really. Many of the trees are quite similar, but I just love it. And this deck pairs with so many tarot decks. It's unbelievable. I think last year I paired it with the Tarot of Light. Is that right? Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, the Tarot of Light, which has got a suit in it of trees. And I felt it really, really went well with that deck. So yeah, there we go. That's quite a few of the cards from this deck. I'll quickly show you the Ascension deck as well. I said this tablecloth is annoying me. It won't lay straight on the table. It keeps rucking up. I can be very, very tricky about fabrics. I just thought, as it was a special video for the end of the year, I should put a nice velvet tablecloth on my table, and it's annoying me now. So this is the Ascension deck. And like I said, I think this one was supposed to be a slight second. I don't really know why. I think it was something to do with the edging on the cards. But, I mean, other than the odd one that perhaps you can see the silver through, they look great to me. And again, this is very similar to the original deck. We've got playfulness, illusion, imagination, infinite, inner growth, instinct, judgment, let it go, liberation. Look at that, look, strong colours. Don't think I've ever drawn that card. I have drawn quite a few from these decks. Oh, look at that, look, love you, make a wish, emotions, look, swirling, gorgeous emotions, empathy and compassion. That's beautiful, isn't it? And feel. What a deep sort of pinky crimson colour that is for feel. That is like a big love heart, isn't it? Let's have a look at empathy and compassion. See what it says. You literally only get a few lines in both of these decks, but it's enough, like I said. So empathy and compassion, it says deep understanding, sensitivity to others' feelings and sympathetic to their experiences. Consider replacing judgment with compassion and empathy. How might I gain greater understanding through a lens of compassion and empathy? And like I said, we've got emotions and feel there, haven't we? Emotions is, are you allowing yourself to feel your emotions, or are you avoiding them by pushing them down, numbing out or distracting yourself? Emotions are there to be felt. Let them move through you and know that it's safe to experience all of your emotions. What are my emotions trying to show me? And then feel. Tune into your heart, emotions, body and intuition for guidance. We can tune in at any time to our personal compass to know how we feel about a person, place or decision we need to make. If your mind feels confused or blocked, remember to tune into your heart or body to guide you. Am I connected to my feelings, or do I tend to detach? So there we go, quite powerful really, just for a few lines. And I think when you tune into your intuition, when you're looking at these cards, I just find them really quite powerful actually. I absolutely love these cards. I really do. So that was number 3 in my oracle decks, and the last oracle deck that I've got here, This was a very recent purchase from the lovely Danielle Barlow on Etsy, the Green Wheel Oracle, and I just absolutely love Danielle Barlow's artwork. I've got a beautiful A4 print of hers that I had framed up on the wall. I've got her postcards of moon cycles, postcards of the Wheel of the Year. I've got all sorts of things of hers. You get this gorgeous little book. The cards come in this little bag, and I have not used this as in like readings as such. These are the beautiful backs. Very much. I only bought them God, maybe September time, I think, because Danielle had only just done another run of these cards just recently, so I only bought them very recently, but they've been on my altar already, and I have pulled a few cards just to sort of reflect on. Her artwork is just stunning. I absolutely love this deck. I love how we've got moon cards mixed up with animals, mixed up with the Wheel of the Year. Look at the wildcat there. They're just absolutely beautiful. I'm so pleased with this deck. And I think all of the moon cards in here I've actually got separately as postcards. So I am kind of thinking about framing my moon postcards, putting them up on the wall somewhere, and then using these to go on my altar. I'm not sure. We just had the cold moon, haven't we? I think that was the last full moon that we've just had, the last super moon actually for quite a long time, wasn't it? Look at that beautiful potent moon, the water moon, the deer. Let's just see what she says in her guidebook about some of these. Let's have a look at the deer. So it says, find the still point. Deer calls for us to be utterly present in this moment. Let go of our human concept of time and just be. There is a strong connection to the body, especially to the heart, and a call to be aware of what is going on immediately around you. It's particularly about subtlety and about noticing small details. The threads are timelessness, being in the moment, personal awareness, heartbeat, and health. That's gorgeous, isn't it? So there we go. That is Danielle Barlow's very gorgeous Green Wheel Oracle, which I absolutely treasure, I have to say. I don't know that she has a tarot deck as well that might be out of print. I'm not sure. If you know, let me know. I hope to buy some more of her prints this year for framing. Soon you won't be able to see any of my wall, I don't think. I'm not going to get that in there, am I? Let's see if I can fold it a bit better. There we go. There. So that's the Green Wheel Oracle. Now on to the tarot cards. And like I said, I've got 10 of these. So I will try not to hang about too long with these decks, because I can see we're already up to nearly 20 minutes. So the first one is the Ehrenberg Tarot, and this one I actually did buy in 2024. I did buy it this year. The copyright was last year, but I did buy this year. I don't think I've shown it on my channel particularly as yet, because I've been very preoccupied with some other decks that I'm working with on a sort of daily basis. But I have done some readings with this deck. It's not in order. It has definitely been played with. And when I first bought this deck, I was really not sure how I was going to take to it, because everything is so focused in on just a very small part of the picture. And it obviously is very Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, but it's focusing in on a very tiny part of that image, isn't it? But I have to say, it reads really well. I really like it. You know, like with the Six of Swords here, we normally see them in the boat. We'd see a mother and a child on the water in a boat. But here we just see the mother and child with the moon behind them. So we know that there's movement. We know that there's a protective quality about this card. I really like it. It's very intuitive. It reads well. Sometimes I think the more detail you have in a card, the harder it can be to read, can't it? Sometimes I think the simpler, the better. So yeah, this is the Ehrenberg Tarot, which is lovely, isn't it? I really do like it. So there we go, the Ehrenberg Tarot, and it's by Steve Ehrenberg. There we go. And that was US Games, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, US Games. I've seen other people using this on YouTube just recently, but not too many. It's a very nice deck. So there's that one. Another deck, and I've actually bought this second hand recently, is the Ethereal Visions. It's a deck by Matt Hughes, and it's another US game system, and it's a deck that I've sort of looked at on and off excuse me, over the years, because I know it's been around a while, hasn't it? How long has it been around? 2017. And like I said, look how beautiful that is. I have looked at this deck on and off quite a while, but wasn't really sure whether it was something that I wanted to buy or not. And I think this deck is in order, and I'm not sure why, because I have definitely played with this year. I must have put it in order for some reason. It's very, very pretty. All the pastels and the gold. Again, it's an extremely intuitive deck. It's a very easy reader. I don't know whether I felt it was just too soft and feminine for me before, because I do like decks that are a little bit edgy. I think I like good, strong artwork. I like jewel colours. Not ever been that much of a fan of sort of pastels really, but or more softer colours like these, but I don't know. This is a lovely deck, isn't it? And how all the, you know, the gold on all the cards is beautiful. So yeah, I hope that I will use this deck a bit more in 2024, because it has definitely become a firm favourite. I just love looking at it. It's a very serene and peaceful deck, isn't it? All the facial expressions for everybody. Everyone looks like they're okay, don't they? So there we go. That's the Ethereal Visions deck by Matt Hughes. Very pretty. Like I said, I think I bought that used on eBay for quite a good amount of money. The next deck is the Cat Aura Tarot by Malamar Logan, who has a YouTube channel. Isn't this box gorgeous? Look at this, look. So nice, such a nice deck. I was so pleased with this. This is obviously an indie deck that I bought and ordered. I think it came from Canada. Oh, look at that, look. There's my cat in there. It's my George. It's just beautiful. I love everything about this deck. Look at the gorgeous edging, the gorgeous backs. That's so pretty. These cards are lovely. The Seven of Cups, the King of Swords. He looks a bit mean. The Page of Pentacles. These are lovely cards as well. They feel really nice. They're very nice cardstock. They're sticking a bit to my velvet cover here. Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I've used this deck to read with quite a bit. The Magician, the High Priestess, the Chariot, the Lovers, the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Wheel. I think I've used some of these cards in my top tarot trumps actually through the year as well. The Devil, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Even some of the most difficult cards in this deck, they're not scary, any of them. It's definitely a feel-good deck. I don't think you could do any shadow work with this deck, really. It's just too soft and gorgeous, really. So that is the Cat Aura Tarot, which is beautiful. Very happy with that deck. So, what have we got next? Let me just have a quick drink. I'm recording this quite early, or early for me anyway. Early for me. The next deck is the Serpent and Peacock, which I didn't buy this year, I don't think. I think I bought it last year. It's from Libra Moon. It's the copyright of 2023. I think I bought it when it was new out. This is the art edition. And this one was numbered 750 sets. Mine's 542. So I can get them out. There we go. Yeah, mine was 542. And I fell in love with this deck as soon as I saw it. Again, this is a deck I love everything about. Look at that gorgeous gilding, the gorgeous edging. Just beautiful. The beautiful backs. And I'm so pleased that I bought the art edition because I love how bright and colourful this deck is. I love the colour palette of it. I absolutely love it. Surprisingly, this is a very easy reader, I think, really. It has by far enough imagery in it that reminds me of Rider-Waite-Smith, but it also has its own sort of things going on in the deck. Look at the Magician, that's so clever. There are a few cards in this that are repeated. I can't remember the cards that they've done duplicates of, different versions, different images, but I love all of it. I really do. I've only got 2 or 3 of these sort of medieval type decks. Although I have bought myself one for Christmas, which is a deck that I've been, well, I have been eyeing and obsessing over for quite some time after seeing it on somebody's channel and thinking I would never get a copy of it. But I managed to find a copy of it on eBay. It was brand new and sealed. It was expensive, but not hideously so. And I bought it for myself maybe back in October as a Christmas present. And you know, it's still in its box in my cupboard and I'm not going to open it until Christmas Day. So I shall show you that after Christmas. And I think that will then make 3 or 4 of these medieval type decks that I've got. But I think so far, this is by far my favourite. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Just absolutely beautiful. So there we go. That is the Serpent and Peacock deck. I know quite a few people have this deck and very much enjoy it. I can't remember where I first saw it, what inspired me to buy it. It might well have been Nova. It's often Nova. So there's that one. The next one is the Curious Travels Tarot deck by Amelia Rosier. This is a US Games system, and this is actually a 2024 deck. I bought this just recently, and very soon after buying it, started to use it in my Drop 'em 78 challenge alongside the El Goliath tarot. I haven't got all the cards in this box at the moment because I'm working my way through the majors at the moment in my challenge, so there won't be many of the majors in amongst these cards. I'm going to have to edge them, I feel. But I love everything about these. They're so slidey. They're lovely cardstock, sort of linen-y. For a mass market deck, it's beautiful. It really is, and so intuitive, reads so well. Has been a great deck to use as a discovery deck with my El Goliath deck, because you couldn't get much more different, really. This is definitely not a shadow work deck, I would say, even though some of the images are a little on the dark side. They're nowhere near on the dark side like the El Goliath deck or some other decks that I own for shadow work. And in this we have the Traveller's card, which I assume represents the reader, the querent, which is quite nice. And again, this is a very simple deck, isn't it, in a lot of ways. It has some images that remind me a little bit of the Ehrenberg, because it does focus in on, you know, smaller areas of the picture. It's a very slidey deck. Oh dear. There we go. I want my piles to be neat, don't I? I'm just not managing to get to my Virgo level of neatness. I'm not doing it at all, am I? So a lot of these cards are in order because I've been working through them with my Drop 'em 78 challenge, which if you've been watching alongside me, I'm so grateful for that you've been part of that with me. I think I'm up to the where am I up to? Maybe Justice at the moment. I'm not sure, but we're getting there. It finishes on December the 31st, so yeah, I've seen quite a few people with this deck, and I think on the whole everybody loves it. I don't know whether it was an indie deck to start off with, and it's gone mass market. I feel I remember hearing somebody say that, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. And like I said, such an easy reader. Such an easy reader. The guidebook is pretty cool. There's some nice little insights in the guidebook. You get quite a bit of information about each card. It's just all round really nice. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 decks left. So the next one is the El Goliath deck. And again, I don't have all the cards in this box because many of them are on my desk at the moment because I'm working through the majors at the moment. But this is the backs of the cards. They're edged in black, and again, these will be in order or in some kind of order because I have been working with them recently. So the 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. So this was designed to be a shadow work deck. I'm pretty sure it was designed to be a shadow work deck, and there are some very difficult images to look at in this deck. It's just everything just has that funny sort of take on it. Like this beautiful Ace of Cups has to have these long, horrible, skinny fingers with big claws on the end of them. There are not many cards in this deck that are just truly beautiful to look at. Most of them have some darkness to them in some way or another. The guidebook for this deck is wonderfully written. Oh, look, the Page of Cups. Look, that's a very sweet card, isn't it? As is the 10 of Cups with all the killer whales. The contented pelican, look, with his mouth full of fish. Oh, and like, why have we got octopus tentacles with the 7 of Cups? Look at the hippos and the bear for the Queen of Cups. Such strange imagery, like this seal with the candles in his eyes, but you know, when you really think about some of these images, they do make a lot of sense. This 3 of Swords here, look, even with spikes around the jar, just making it harder and harder to get at this heart that's broken here, this heart that's suffering. It's been an experience, I have to say, to use this deck to do the Drop 'em 78 challenge. I was so excited when I bought this deck, and now I've used it for a period of time. I can't say that it's in my favourites. It would not be in my top 10, probably not even in my top 20, I'm not sure. But it has its uses for sure, this deck. I'm certainly more fond of it now that I've worked with it closely and, you know, really read the guidebook and tried to understand the motivation for some of these images. But, you know, it's not a deck that you'd get out and read with too often, is it? It's a shadow work deck. It's a deck that you get out if you wanted maybe some harsh truths sometimes. You know, like all of these cards here, they're all difficult. Well, they're difficult cards anyway, the 8, 7 and 5 of Swords, aren't they? But like this poor polar bear's stuck under the ice. This poor bird is going to have all of its eggs stolen by this snake. And then we've got this big black Scorpio and this little white scorpion here. So they're all difficult images, but if you take the time to read the guidebook and you really think about them, it's a good deck. Very good deck for shadow work, I have to say. And it's been an experience to work with it this past couple of months. Like I said, I think I've got 2 more weeks with the deck, and then I will be finished with that challenge, which I have to say will be a bit of a relief. You know, I've kept journals a lot on and off over the years, looking at my tarot practice, but to sit and have to study a particular card every day and relate it to your day, I have found that quite difficult some days. Right, we've got 3 decks left. So the next one is Tarot Landscapes. This is by Francesca Mattioni and Yoshimara. There's a Vivida deck. Comes in this really nice little box that I like. I have used this deck a lot this year. I can't get it out. Come on, out you come. I've used this for lots of readings. I've used it in my Top Tarot Trumps videos. It just has some really, really nice images. And it reads really, really well. It's very intuitive. I love all the animals. I love all the landscapes. It's just a very nice deck, isn't it? The 10 of Cups there. It's just beautiful. I've done a lot of readings for myself with this deck. I actually sat and read the guidebook for this deck as well, actually, because I was interested, as it's a deck of landscapes, and animals really, there's no people in this deck, or at least I can't remember that there is. Just wanted to see if it had any different sort of take, and it doesn't really. It's just lovely, isn't it? Really nice. I find myself even now just laying the cards down, just sitting looking at it, because there's quite a lot to take in these pictures, isn't there? The 9 of Swords there, look, the bats hanging upside down. The Knight of Swords, look, peregrine falcon, super speedy. Really nice. The Page of Pentacles, that tortoise there, look. Oh, really nice. 6 of Pentacles, somebody's left a basket of fruit there. Ten of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles, a big elephant. Death. Oh, look, a little hatched out turtle about to be snatched up by a seagull. So there we go. Not the best card stock, but a beautiful deck nonetheless. An absolute firm favourite in my practice this year. And I think I can't imagine it not being a firm favourite, to be honest. Let's see if I can get it back in the box. Like I said, it's got a really nice little guidebook. You get the picture, you get a positive and a negative. It talks about what you're looking at, the actual landscape of what you're looking at. Really nice. And really not expensive at all, that deck. I remember, I think it was only like £15 or something, which, I mean, that's just nothing, is it, for a tarot deck? Right, 2 more decks. You'll be pleased to hear. So the next one is the Wee Moon Tarot. And I was really surprised by this. This is Mother Tongue at Wee Moon. So these are a collective, a group of people that have had a magazine, I think, over for the last 40 years, or date books. I think date books they're called, over the last 40 years. I don't know whether it's an American thing. I expect that it is, because it's not something that I've ever seen before, the Wee Moon date books. But I did see this this tarot deck, and I'm so pleased that I did. I bought this from Amazon. It's not an indie deck. My only thing with it was that the deck is curved, it's not straight. I edged this deck, and I edged it for the suits, and I think the majors I edged in black, perhaps. Yeah, I think that I did. Yeah, I did. I've just got some of them mixed up. Yeah. Let's have a look at the majors. So the wild card, look there for the devil. Devilish dilemmas, look. Everybody glued to their phone except one person there who's actually looking up at the sun. That's about right, isn't it? The Tower. And each one of these individual cards has been painted by a separate artist. So this is a collective of artists as well. This is Jackie Moore. This is Dorothy Rossi for the Tower. And we've got the world there. I think that's the only landscape card there, coming full circle. Stars, stardust, moon, lunar power, the sun, life force, judgment, a wake-up call. The guidebook does explain pretty well what you're actually looking at here in these images. The Fool opening, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Like bursting out of this egg here. The Magician or the Witch. The Priestess, priestessing the planet. That's really cool. The Great Mother. Embodying spirit. The Empowerer, which is the Hierophant. Wisdom, compassion, power. Or is that, no, that's the Emperor, isn't it? What am I talking about? There we got the Hierophant, haven't we? Sacred Path, sign language, strength. That's a very interesting card, isn't it? Holding us together. I like that. The Lovers, in the spirit of love. So as you can see, it's a very, very nice deck. What does it say about strength there? They've got the cards, strength is number 11 in this deck. So this talks about inner resources versus outer power. When push comes to shove, what inner resources can you call on for strength? How can you stay grounded, centered, and present in any situation? Power that comes from within, relating in a caring way, is far more resilient than reactivity and defensiveness. Well, we know that to be the truth, don't we? So this is a very, very cool deck that I have done some readings for myself with. I've sat and edged it. I've sat and read the book, and I've spent time with this deck. Tried to sort of build a relationship with this deck. So that's very nice. And then the last deck that I have to show you that has been a favourite of mine for 2024 is Todd Olcott's Horror Tarot, which I love. The box that it comes in, I love everything about this deck. the backs of the decks. I must edge it. It's calling out for some edging, isn't it? I don't think this deck is in order because I have played with it quite a lot. I've also used this deck for top tarot trumps this year. We've got the World, the Suit of Wands, the Seven of Wands, Trapped, but who is the monster? The Three of Cups, the Six of Wands, Victory, but at what cost? Obey. What's that film? Oh, it's gone out of my head. I'm so rubbish with names of things. We all know what that film is, don't we? The one where the man puts on the glasses and all of a sudden he can see all the brainwashing and all the propaganda around him. The Suit of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Devil. All things that make life worth living. I think that's what I like about this deck, actually. It's got a sense of humour. The Suit of Swords, this is the Nine of Swords, featuring nightmares, debilitating fear and crippling anxiety. The Suit of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, featuring curiosity, new ideas and positive change. The King of Swords, an absorbing tale of intellectual authority in the tradition. And I think each one of these cards represents a film, you know, a sort of B-movie type horror film. The Five of Pentacles, destitute, alone and terrified for the future. Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Six of Pentacles. This one, like the Zombie Tarot, just makes me laugh, really. I love a good horror film, and I don't think I've seen any of these because these are really, truly old type B movies. Like, let's have a look at the Four of Wands. So this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde finally meet in a London alleyway. They've heard so much about one another. They can't wait to grab a pint and sit down and get acquainted. The Four of Wands is a card of celebration, homecoming and reconciliation. The wayward spirit is back in the fold. This is reunited and reconciled. The monster comes home. So there we go. That is the horror tarot. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've bought this year, what I've been working with, what I've been playing with. Yeah, it's quite a different bunch from last year's decks. I think last year the Pensive Path would have been up there. The what else? Oh, loads of decks I would have had last year, wouldn't I? So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed having a look, and I shall be very keen to look at everybody else's videos to see what everyone else enjoyed working with this year. I hope to do another video at the end of December, just looking back a bit more at my practice, my year, maybe doing some shout outs for some favourite channels, you know, that kind of thing, really. Yeah, and I've also got my world video, my last top tarot, top trumps video to upload as well. But I think that's probably about it from me for 2024. There may be a couple more videos, but I do hope that everybody's well. I hope that you're all, life's treating you all well. I hope that you all have a lovely Christmas, beautiful new year. I hope that you're all happy and healthy. And I'm sending you all my love, and I shall see you all again soon. Thank you.